So you went to like a weekend seminar about real estate.
Yes,
And
which
what'd you
was
learn?
all bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I sat there, it was so mind numbing. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? I was just waiting for lunch, you know? But then I remember like late on Saturday, these two guys came in and, dude, it's as funny as something so simple. The guy said to me, like, you could buy something, you could put money into it, and you can sell it for more.
Yep.
Just that simple equation. And then he showed me how to like write things down on a piece of paper, like my costs. Just that 1 hour class out of like the 24 hours I was there, like changed my life.
Yeah.
Like just that
I love that.
1 hour,
You can
it
buy
gave me
something.
everything I need.
So you can buy
Buy something
something,
for less, fix it up,
put
and
money
sell
in,
it for more.
sell for
And
more.
that just clicked in my brain. And I was like, oh shit, I can do that.
All right. So today on the New How podcast, we have Dan Borkson. Dan, it's interesting about Dan. Dan is an entrepreneur. He's a developer, a contractor, doing business in Philadelphia and the greater areas. Do you do any work down the shore at all,
I've
or
done some.
done some work down the shore? I know Dan. How long have we known each other now? Because it's been
It's been a long time.
like a decade.
I
Has
would
it
say
been
at
a
least
decade?
this could be easy.
Yeah,
Decade.
at least a decade at
Yeah.
this point. Dan's a good friend. I learned a lot from Dan, surprisingly, and I also want to get you on because I want others to learn from you too. Because
I didn't know I taught anything.
that's the best teachers are the ones that don't realize they're teaching and inspiring others. But Dan is a machine here in the city. He does amazing projects. But I wanted to peel back a little bit, Dan. Like, I know you're in real estate today and you're developing your building, but like, where did your journey begin? Did you go to like, what was like the first sense of business in your life? Like, did you sell lemonade at a lemonade stand when you were younger?
No, I'm actually a really late bloomer. I didn't start till I was like 30, 31.
That's all right.
Yeah.
The McDonald's guy started at like 55, right? So you're still early.
I don't know. I don't know about him, but like, yeah, I was definitely a late bloomer. Like I remember, because I guess we're talking about this like from Chili's. I remember for like a clear 5 years, all my buddies had careers,
Yeah.
and I'd
Just
be
in your
like,
20s, 30s.
and they would come in for happy hour or dinner,
Yeah.
and they'd be in suits, and I'd still be like
Wait.
waiting tables. at
Wait,
Chili's.
so I want to bring this back because I know this, but Dan worked at Chili's on City Line Ave.
Correct.
City Line Ave, Chili's, which is now shut down. Just
It's
shut.
like an empty building. They
I
haven't
can't-
knocked it down
I
yet.
can't get my skillet queso and Old Time Burger anymore. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
I have to go out to KOP for it.
Yeah.
But Dan you worked as a bartender there back in
Forever.
how many years ago was that?
On and off for like 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was back in early 2000s?
Yeah, I guess man, I started there when I was like 19 years old, so like 21 years.
Jesus. I always tell people too, like whenever I see restaurant experience on a resume, it says something about the human being. And if you look at like what you're doing today,
Depends on how long you work there, but yeah, I agree.
I see it for like 3 months on a resume. All right, red flag. But like if I see a year, 2 years, couple summers, I'm like, it says something about that person.
See, there's no question that like it teaches you how to talk to people,
Yeah.
all kinds of people, right? Spread out because you get everybody from Chili's had like as ghetto as it gets from the city to as uppity as it gets from the burbs,
Yeah.
all meet at that Chili's.
Oh, yeah.
So you get a wide variety of people,
Yeah.
you know.
And you got to learn to deal with everyone the same way, right? Like you're not
Yes.
really necessarily changing the way
Yes.
you're. Hi, I'm Dan.
Yeah.
I'm here to take your order, right? I'm going to take care of you today, right? You're talking the same. But yeah, that's so. This is back. You're 18, 19, 20 years old, working Chili's, right? Did you go to college, like high school? Like what?
So
Talk about that.
I grew up. I went to Lower Merion.
Okay.
So I'm 1 year older than Kobe, and then I went to Roanoke College my freshman year.
Roanoke.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I transferred to Penn State. So in that first year of transferring, I spent 6 months at home. I got on the main campus.
Yep.
In the next 6 months. So in that 6 months, that's when I started at Chili's.
Gotcha.
I started
while you were in that transition.
And then I would like come in home from Penn State like couple weekends at a time or like vacations, and I would work at Chili's.
Yeah. And
so that's when it started.
Yeah, but you continued that through college and then so what did you go to Penn State for? What was the
Film.
Okay.
Film major.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're on a podcast here. We got film cameras, live film. Like what
That's why I was checking out the table.
Yeah, where
I mean, I
was wondering why Dan said the equipment here looks cheap. You know, it makes sense now. But why film?
I just love movies, and it was like when I found out you could study film in college and be legit, then it just seemed like a cool thing to do.
So you know what's funny? I'm just kidding. What's fun about this? We're friends. I know, but you don't know this about me. I too had a short stint where I almost went for film as well. In high school, all of my papers and shit that I had to write, instead of writing papers, we convinced our professors to allow us to make videos about shit.
Yeah.
So I'd have me and a couple of my buddies come over. We would make these videos and show them to like our English class. And I was like, this is fun. This is cool. We used to, and that was like
Yeah, my big
quick.
project for graduating was doing a documentary.
Yeah.
Like we had to pick a documentary to make, and I went with a bunch of buddies down to Hatteras,
Mhm.
and they have like that Hatteras famous lighthouse down there, and the engineering company, the same one that moved the George Washington Inn
Yep.
in Valley Forge, they moved that lighthouse in like a mile offshore. And so we went and interviewed a whole bunch of surfers that hated it because it called it like a wave magnet. That was the name of the movie. And a bunch of locals who were like really in awe of it and thought it was cool. So that was my senior project.
Wild. So film in college, you're going through like when did you realize that it wasn't film and you were tracking towards a real estate?
I mean, I never really realized it. I moved out to LA right after college.
Okay.
I just packed up my Jeep and I drove straight out to LA with my dog. We lived there for 2 years and then came back to Philly. And when I came back to Philly, I worked at a couple of shows like The Man Show and that
Did you? You
Tonight
worked on that show?
Yeah, I did a couple production assistant jobs for a while, but like LA just wasn't my.
Zigga zagga, zigga zagga. Oh, I can't. Oh my god.
I did a couple stints on Trading Spouse. I got a couple shows under my belt.
Okay, but you were a production assistant working on
yeah,
sets.
whatever whatever you can do. So then I moved back to Philly, but back then it was like you started to see filmmakers doing stuff locally.
Yeah.
So when I got back, I started a project. I did a movie called The Curse of William Penn. It opened up the Philly Film Festival. Kevin Bacon was in it. It was pretty legit for a while. The problem was it was about sports teams being cursed, and we did all this work for 2 years, and then the fucking Phillies won, So it was like my movie was over. But we had a conclusion because like they put the William Penn on top of the Comcast Center. So that was the end of our movie, but
that's awesome.
It was a good experience. It was cool.
All right, so you come back, you're doing this film thing, Kevin Bacon, right? Philly guy, like, all right, you're picking up shifts selling the volcano chocolate cake at Chili's, right? Like,
no. So I didn't want to come back to Chili's right away. So when I moved back from LA, like we were just talking about, my dad was a doctor. He introduced me to a guy who ran a medical facility, and he hired me to like be his office manager. So I was working there. This was on Broad and Dickinson.
Okay.
All right. He was a little Vietnamese guy. His name was Tony Bin. Like all his boys, they name each other after Italian names. Jimmy Tao, Tony Bin, And so like I worked for him managing his office for a while. He would hire doctors to come in and treat patients. Now these patients were Asians that get in car accidents.
Gotcha.
There'd be like 8 in a van, and they'd come in, and that 8 people, that's 40 grand you get from the insurance companies. So they would like have me fill out the forms, like be the representative, deal with the insurance companies. And that's what I did for him. And then like it led to other things. Like I was trying to tell you before, like, I don't want to go as far as say they were the Vietnamese mafia, but they were like, if you ever been to Washington Ave, back, like around 9th and 10th, back in the day, it was like an underground world.
Yeah, of course.
Of Vietnamese people just hanging out, doing all kinds of shit.
Markets down there. There's
markets, right? But like at night, there's like cockfighting. There's like all kinds of shit, So like we would go play cards there at one of these places, and they would organize like a cockfight. And like, dude, I remember those guys brought in like 90 grand one night just doing cockfights down there. Like it's crazy. I don't know how it is now.
Yeah,
because I know there's a lot of development back there.
Yeah,
but back in like the early 2000s, that's how
it was.
It was pretty awesome.
It was like Philly people remember,
and they loved me, so they trusted me to do more shit. Like those guys, they drank Heineken with ice in it, And I would sit there and I would drink them and like not put ice in my beer, and they like looked at me like I was some kind of animal,
Animal, right? That's That's great. So, all right, so you're down there, you're cockfighting, you're doing, it's crazy, right?
Not me,
right? Not you. Yeah. Just, you're watching, you're like walking in, you're like, holy.
I was organizing.
You're organizing, yeah. You're like the Molly's game of cockfighting. I love it. That's good. So you're working for a medical company, and you're doing maybe Chili's or starting to get back. Like, talk to me. I want to know how we go from cockfighting to Chili's.
Came from like those guys started getting shadier and shadier. It wasn't as fun anymore. It started getting heavier drugs, more fighting, more shit like that.
Yeah, you're like, I got to get out of here.
So I got out of there, and then because it was so crazy, I like wanted something just easy and chill and stable. So I went back to Chili's, and I got stuck there, man. Like it was just like You date girls there, you hang out, you can make enough cash to get by, you get drunk, go out with people all the time, and you just get
It's a restaurant
stuck.
scene.
Yeah, So I was there for like a long time. You know, I think I was like at 28 when I had my daughter Sasha, and I didn't leave there till I was like 31. So even after having a daughter and be like, yo, you got to get your shit together, it still took me 3 years to get my shit together after.
All right, so you're 30, early 30s. You're like, I got to figure it out. What drove you towards real estate, or what was like the first inclination that like that might be?
There was no crazy driving force. What it was, I mean, there was nothing. It was like I got fired from Chili's after a long time. I think the managers were sick of me.
Cockfighting ring at Chili's.
I was the managers were sick of me. I was sick of being there,
Yeah.
and I just remember one night they pulled me in the back and like, dude, what the fuck you doing? And they fired me. I remember I went up to the front to the cooler. I grabbed 2 beers, and I stood at that stoop out on the side there, like the takeout stoop, and I just drank those 2 beers, and I was like, I'm never fucking coming back to working at a restaurant ever again. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
Yeah.
But I'm just not coming.
It was like a breaking point. It was like it's like your why.
I was like, it's time for the next chapter, whatever that is, right?
Dan, chapter 3.
I didn't know what it was for like a week or two. I was just kind of bullshitting around. And then I think it was my dad was like, why don't you take one of these real estate courses for a weekend, And I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
One of those on the radio, like, oh, we buy houses. I'm looking for a small group of investors.
Like that. I mean,
come out.
I remember when I was younger, it felt more legit than that. Now when I see it, I'm like, oh, these guys are just running a scam, But back then, maybe it was the same thing and I just didn't see it that way. But
so you went to like a weekend seminar about real estate.
Yes, which was all bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I sat there, it was so mind numbing. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? I was just waiting for lunch, But then I remember like late on Saturday, these 2 guys came in and dude, it's as funny as something so simple. The guy said to me, like, you could buy something, you could put money into it, and you can sell it for more.
Yep.
Just that simple equation. And then he showed me how to like write things down on a piece of paper, like my costs. Just that 1 hour class out of like the 24 hours I was there, like changed my life. Yeah. Like just that I love that. 1 hour,
you can
it
buy
gave me
something,
everything I need.
So you can buy
something for less, fix it up, put money and sell it for more. And that just clicked in my brain. And I was like, oh shit, I can do that. And then, I listened to his details about stick to your numbers, write your numbers down and all that. And that was like my training wheels.
Yep.
And that's how I learned. So I bought, it took me like 3 months to find my first flip. I had like maybe 3 or 4 grand in savings. I think I was living, I can't remember where I was living at the time. It might've been the basement of my buddy's house. I forget, but I didn't have a lot of expense back then.
Yep.
And so, what did I do? I stuck to the formula. Like, I'm not going to overpay for a house. I'm going to find a flip and I'm going to do it. Now, just another backstory is like I had 2 rental properties that went up a lot in value back then. This was like 06, 07. Mm-hmm. So whatever you bought like doubled in value, So I bought 2 places and one of them was worth a lot of money. So I took out a home equity line of credit. So I had 60 grand
to play
in
with
credit.
Flip. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was living off of too. So I stuck to it, and my first flip was right here in Manning. It was 137 Dawson Street, and I bought it for like 162, something like that. And I stuck to my budget of 30 grand. I had no idea what to do at the time. Like I didn't even know what drywall was.
You're the first. Is the first one.
Yeah. So I just did it. I found this guy, Mike, the plumber that I used for a long time. I haven't seen him in years, but he's coming to my wedding in a couple of weeks. Nice. So I'll see him for the first time in like a decade. But I started with him, and I flipped this house. Yep. I put 30 grand into it. I had money to hold it. It sold right away. It sold like as soon as I was done, it sold in a week. It just went perfectly.
Yeah.
I made 60 grand off that house.
Yeah.
From like working all year at Chili's to make like 30 grand, 40 grand, whatever I made, to making 60 grand cash. Boom. On my first
4 months.
It just went perfectly. Like back then, all those shows, Flip This House, Flip That House were on. That was like my real college education, That's where I really learned. Like I watched them and what they fuck up, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. What an idiot, You watch them on TV, and they're like, why would they do something stupid?
I mean, what's crazy is again, similar track. I went to one of those seminars and I joined it, and that's how I learned about development. I mean, I do I haven't done a ton, but like, yeah, I did a commercial
Yeah.
building,
Yeah,
20,000 square
sure.
feet. I've done houses ground up, but like my first intake was Fortune Builders, Than, Paul, and JD on Annie's Flip This House. I met those guys. They're cool. I bought into their system, and like,
Okay.
that's how I learned.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's how I got in.
Okay.
I went through literally one of
The
the
same
bullshit
type of thing.
weekends.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Well, you do wholesaling. There's other means and methods to get
Right. But all that stuff seemed like shady.
It did.
You know,
It did. Yeah.
like people buying foreclosures seemed shady. Knocking on people's doors seemed shady. I just wanted to do it clean
Yeah.
and simple. I didn't want to deal with people.
You never put up a "We Buy Houses" sign in Philly anywhere.
Nah, nothing like that.
All right, I feel like that's worse than cockfighting because that used to be a crazy game. To just,
I flipped that house and I just never looked back. I just kept looking for flips after that, you know. And I stayed in Manayunk for a while.
Mhm.
And then
that was the build of it. You just kept building from there, flipping this.
so I think I did like 4 or 5 flips in Manayunk.
Okay.
And all just went really smooth. It was great.
In the course of what, a year, 2 years, like 2.
I only had enough money to do like one house at a time.
Okay.
So like I think my first 5 or 6 flips took like 2 years, you
Yeah.
know. And then let's see, how do you graduate from that? So then I got a letter from another agent. So I worked with this chick Lori, who was a Manayunk agent,
Yep.
you know, and that's all I knew. That was like our world. We
Yeah.
just knew things in Manayunk. And then I got a written letter from an agent, Keith Adams, and he just wrote me this letter. Hey, I've seen some of your flips. Why don't we take your business to the next level? Blah blah blah. But it was handwritten. I was like,
Yeah, cool.
I literally read the letter, called him. I was like, yo, what's up? What do you got? You know, because I was getting bored too. You get bored.
Of course.
And that's what drives you to do more stuff.
Yeah, it's like, oh, single
boring.
families are cool, but
Yeah.
like, how about a multi? How about a commercial building? How about like,
Well, I couldn't even think that big at the
Yeah.
time. I don't think what I was doing. I just like try to like, let's move on to the next bigger thing. So he was like, yeah, let's go into the city. And I was always worried, wow, the city's a lot of people. It's a lot more competitive. And there's, I don't know how, you don't know if business is busy in the city or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was like, fuck it, let's do it. What else am I going to do?
Try
So we found a place at like 28th and Poplar, and it was an
Okay.
old townhome. It was 2810
Yeah,
Poplar
so,
Street,
yeah.
actually. And it's funny, I can remember these addresses right now.
you never
because
forget the
sometimes
early ones. You never
you,
forget
yeah,
the ones that make
you
it
push everything out of your mind. Like I drove by like a neighborhood I built and I didn't even recognize it. Like, oh shit, I did build that. That's crazy. It doesn't even look like my work.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we bought this place. It was like a row home.
Mhm.
It was like 4,000 square feet. So what we did is I converted it into a condo.
Okay. This is the first conversion. So you
Right.
got it. You converted.
So we did
you
2
split it up.
units with that, you know, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It went so smooth. It's like, holy shit. Like, it's weird that like, you know, I don't know. I always like in my mind, I always consider myself like a fuck up. So it's like it's weird that you can do something, put the plan together, put the money together, put all the parts together,
Yeah.
and it just works. You know, it's kind of weird. Like I
Magic.
still look at it to this day.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I look at like Conshohocken, what we're doing right now, and I look at it, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm building this
Yeah.
neighborhood right now. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, literally, for those, Dan is building a transformational neighborhood on Conshohocken Ave in Philly. It's gotten a ton of good press. It's, you know, it's not official affordable housing, but it's housing starting in the 400,000s, which is unheard of. in the city.
$299 for a condo.
Yeah, for a condo, $299, but like the standalone, like 400, like that's crazy. And the numbers work and the construction quality is superb. Like Dan, you know, it's unbelievable.
I appreciate you saying that.
It is, man. It's a transformational. It's going to change people's lives. That community. That's a great place to raise your kids and start a family there. And that's what's
it's
needed.
cool because like my last year in high school, like I lived down the street. I lived
that
at
crazy?
Ford Road, and to be able to like build that right in my own neighborhood. Like my mom died on Ford Road,
Yeah,
and one of the streets in the neighborhood is named after her, Maryland Drive.
Wow,
you know,
right?
it's pretty cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Maryland Drive is sold out. You know.
That's awesome.
that's
That's her
pretty
doing it. It's like, all right, I'll sell that. Name Maryland Drive too, and watch it sell out too.
So as it progressed, so back to like Poplar Street. So we did that conversion. You know, you got to do condo docs. You find a
Yeah.
lawyer. I found this guy, my business partner now, Steve. He worked in a title company, and he would always like.
Mhm.
I used their title company for all my first couple deals, so I knew him, and he would always just sit there and bullshit. He like really could talk. You know, he talks your ear off. So like one day he was like, "Hey man, you need any investors for this?" You know. And I was like, I never thought about that. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, you're moving
And I
cash,
passed on
cash,
it,
cash,
right?
which a lot of people do, right?
But
A lot of
then
people
in
just look at
08, the
cash.
banks crashed, right? And so I did need money to start doing stuff. Like the mortgage programs that were easy to get stopped. So I took on an investor. I took him on.
Mhm.
We still got mortgages for stuff, but
But you have more equity in, so you
Right,
don't need to,
right.
the leverage is different.
And then he was like, "Hey, I'd like to get more involved." And it became that he started to raise capital through his friends and
Yeah,
business associates for us to invest.
correct.
And that's how it all kind of flowed.
Yeah.
That's
So
how
he's got, so
that's how things kept progressively moving.
and today Steve's still involved. He's helping raise capital
Correct.
for the bigger deals you're
Right.
doing. You're handling operations, dealing with the construction,
Yep.
the crappy architects, right? And
It's
then,
everything. It's
yeah.
not architects, civil engineers,
Yeah,
structural
it's all-
engineers, the city. It's like everything. Lawyers, everybody. It's like you really like round up a lot of people to get these things going.
Yeah, but that separation is needed because keeping the investors at bay, updating them is a full-time job, and constantly looking for money for the next deal, right? Like that's what it comes down to. And then
So then it came to
running
like
weekends.
we just really hit momentum where like I remember we did one on Corinthian, which is right next right behind the prison. Because
Yep.
I remember it because we used to hit golf balls into the prison from the roof deck, and
They're still looking for those assholes, and we just found
802 Corinthian. But
just
so
found the guys hitting golf balls
so
into the prison.
that was like a really nice
good.
2-unit conversion, right?
Yeah.
This was like another pivotal moment too. Was like that was 2 condos, but they were really really nice. Like I was starting to like step up my game. I learned about like glass railings and like just doing better. Like every job you do the next one better.
Correct.
It costs you more money, which sucks, but
Yeah, but-
that's what happens. Oh, you know what? Another important part that I skipped that's interesting is so I was rehabbing a lot, right? And when you're rehabbing, you learn the house, you get it. But I had bought a house in Manayunk that I had an extra lot that I subdivided, and I wanted to learn how to build, but I didn't know how to build. So Keith had introduced me to who's now one of my best friends, Amit, this dude, this Israeli guy who's a builder. And he's the opposite of me. I like to build like small, cheap houses and sell it to a lot. You have a bigger market. He builds these monstrous like glass homes that are so fancy, And like I walked through one of his houses and like I couldn't even wrap my brain around how do you do something like this. So Keith's like, I know that guy. And he introduced us. We all went to lunch one day. And in that lunch, picking his brain, I learned how to build.
Yeah.
Like I just like all the little things that I didn't know.
How do you do the
A foundation,
Yeah.
right? Like who puts the windows in when you have a framer?
Yeah.
Like all those little details he filled in for me in that one lunch. And I built my first house from that too. And that's how I learned. That was it.
You got you
So
merged your
after
strengths
that,
on
dude,
that
it's
one.
like kind of just off to the races. It's like, all right, I built a 2-unit. I'm bored. Let's build a 5-unit. I built a 5-unit. Then I built like a row of 10 houses. And like, it's fun. Like I remember we had, you know who Aishad Weir is? He's like a pro skater.
Yeah.
He bought one of my houses. He was from Philly originally, or Jersey, but he lived in Philly for a while and then he moved out to LA. But he bought one of my houses out there. Like it just got fun. Like it was it became like you get movement, you get like momentum. It's like a roll, And then we got into like I remember this was so long ago, man. On Girard, like 2012, there was this big lot. Nobody was buying it. It was like $299. And I bought that lot, and I went to Harmon Deutsch at the time, and like they were like, oh, you can put like a 17-unit apartment building here, and here's an elevator you can put in, all this shit. And I was like, dude, I have no idea how to do this, but fuck it, let's do it.
I had met you right after the project. That's when I met you.
Dude, back then, like you had to dig like 100 feet into the ground to put a piston for an elevator, and it was right when one of the buildings had fallen over at
Salvation Army.
and like it was like so scary.
Yeah, no one wanted.
And like I'm digging this elevator down, and the building next to me is shaking with its old like. You go through so much stress doing these things, but it's worth it. Like, so we built that apartment building, and then I rented it out. And dude, I hate rental properties. I didn't want to keep anything, so I flipped an apartment building, and it's like, holy shit, you can do that.
Yeah.
And then that
You
turned
get this
like
new
then
stuff.
there's like another idea of like, oh, let's just flip apartment buildings. You make so much more money. It's so much easier, So we just started doing stuff like that, and then from there it just keeps progressing.
Yep.
You're just building bigger and bigger. It's like I have no idea what I'm doing. Even after the last one, like I'm like, how the fuck did I pull that off?
Yeah.
But you just keep doing
Keep
it. You
going
figure it out.
one after the next.
Like it's like basically when you hand me architectural plans, I look at it like I bought something from IKEA and I'm trying to put it together. And I'm so bad at it that I'm hiring all these other guys to put it together for me.
Yeah.
That's how I think in my brain. That's how it works.
Yeah. No, and it's but you're the conductor, right? You're the film director of all of it, right? Like,
Right.
that's what you are at the end of the day.
You're
the film director. Like
it's all the same. I look at it even with doctors, like
Yeah.
they use like their nurses and like everything is the same.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Like me, right? Like I run an architecture firm here in the city, but like You don't want me doing your flashing detail. Like that would be a serious problem if I had to do your flashing detail. But
But even with those guys,
yeah,
I'll see a lot of guys that are my subs that do their own development too, and
mhm,
they kind of like use that as a stepping stone to doing it that way, you
yeah.
know.
So so where you're at today, right? You have so how big's your team, by the way? Like it's you, Steve, and how many people?
Steve's just my partner, but
Yeah.
he's kind of like, hands off these days.
Yeah.
He's got his own full-time job. It's just me and one other guy, the guy Dave that works for me. And that's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
So it's you
And everybody else are just subs.
and all subs,
Yeah.
and you're doing how many units roughly do you have going on in around the city?
I think we're right now it's like almost 600.
600 units throughout the
I'm
city.
doing like an apartment complex at Lehigh, and I'm doing Conshohocken.
Yeah, those are. I mean,
And I'm looking at other projects, but I haven't found anything else.
yeah, but and so let me ask you a question now, because obviously, a lot of people that listen to are developers or in the space. What are you seeing? Is there anything you're seeing with like these banks through lending that like, or how deals are moving forward? Like, how are you continuing to build with the current environment? Like, are you seeing anything shift, or do you have any optimism about what's about to happen
No,
in the
I don't
market?
know. You never know what's really going to happen. I mean, anybody that came up here and told you they know is just bullshit.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
knows.
I, no
You
one.
go day to day, month to month. You never know. But
Yeah.
like, it's definitely there were times where it's hard to get loans to do certain things.
Mhm.
But you just keep grinding away, and eventually, like sometimes it's a gift, right? Like for the second building at Lehigh, I couldn't get a loan for a little while, but it was a gift because it was slow renting for a little
Mhm.
bit. And once the renting picked up, oh, all of a sudden now the bank's picked up and
Yep.
I got the loan. So it kind of like works like, you get pushed around into the right place, hopefully. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, obviously you don't want to get pushed in the wrong place, but like, you got to keep that in mind
Yeah,
that
of
like
course.
maybe this isn't the right time to do this right now. Use them as your conductor,
Yep.
to be like, or your what's it called when you're flying off
Barometer.
a highway?
Oh,
The
your
guardrail, your guardrail.
Yeah.
Like just use that. Like if you can't get something done right now, maybe it's not the right time to do it. I mean, that's how I've always looked at it.
Is there anything you've learned to this point through your whole journey? Right, it's a hell of a journey. You fucking fell from film school to Chili's to cockfights. Yeah. The joke about the cockfight, that's hilarious. But like, if you had to do it all over, like, what would you change? Is there anything you'd change? Is there anything like you'd be like, shit? I wish I remembered this, or I wish I like took that piece of advice that person told me one time like a little sooner. Is there anything
It's hard
you
to
can
say
look back?
because if I would done something different, I probably would have done it differently, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think about it like that. The
Any
same way you don't think about like you forget the project you've done,
yeah.
the way you're interviewing people. Like I used to listen to Stern all the time. I remember he'd be like, I interviewed that guy. I forget. We met him. Like, I don't remember that. Like, so it's
I don't
like,
have that many guests. You're probably episode like 50 or 60. And I don't have that many. I remember everybody.
but it's like, no, you just don't look back. I don't think about those things.
Yeah.
What would I do differently?
All right.
You know?
All right. Let's try it a little differently then. What if like I'm a high school student and I'm thinking I want to get into real estate, right? Like, and with today's market and everything that's happening, like what would you advise me? Like, hey Dan, like I really want to get into the development game. Like what do I got to do?
I
I don't
was-
have money.
I don't think, yeah, but well, I would, you're going to need to figure out how to get some money some way to get started.
Okay.
That's with everything. Even if it's
Yeah,
a loan, you got to
absolutely.
do that. That I'm not sure how to tell you to do. I told you how I did mine.
Yeah.
I bought a rental property. It was worth a little bit more. I borrowed against it.
Yeah.
That was all. Maybe you borrow from your parents. Don't borrow from a loan shark or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, because there's too much stress. You got enough stress doing the work. But so figure out, you got to get some kind of investment money
Yeah.
going. I mean, you don't need a lot sometimes, it could be 30, 40, 50.
Yeah. That's like, to me, like 30, 40, 50 grand can get you on a flip in a certain even area of the city, right? Like
Yeah, I
strong
mean, you
mansion
go
or
out to
something.
Norristown, go out to somewhere else. Like, there's always. Here's what's funny. Here's something else I remember that's important, I guess, to say is that like when I started in '07 and I was gonna go to Manayunk,
Mhm.
every motherfucking person I talked to was like, "Dude, there's no more deals out there. There's no more deals out there. Like that place is full, done.
Maniac's done.
Yeah, everybody's done. Old City's done. Fishtown's done. Everything's done, right? It's like, dude, it's never done.
Yeah.
People have been doing business and real estate since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
There's always a deal to be had out there if you like learn how to do it and figure it out.
Venice Island and Manayunk, the houses are retrading between 1.5 to 1.7.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like there's always, don't listen to anybody, first of all, if you want to do your own thing. I think that's an important piece of advice. And just do it, and don't think too much about it. If you worry about it too much and think too much, that's what kind of like cripples people. Just fucking do things.
Well, that's
Nobody knows what the fuck
it's
they're
always
doing.
the execution, right?
Nobody knows what they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
you just figure it out.
I remember one of the
You're an
first.
you run an architecture firm and a fucking haunted house. Like I'm asking you questions about running a haunted house. I don't have a fucking clue how to run a haunted
Yeah.
house.
You would figure it out just like I did.
Sure, you
Right.
could, but like I don't know that I'd want to run a fucking haunted.
Even an architecture firm. So I remember one of our first jobs. You know, it's crazy like getting in business. Like one of our first jobs, like earlier on, over a decade ago, was like, oh, like can you send me proof of insurance? And I'm like, what the fuck is a proof of insurance?
Yeah.
Right? Like
I still get those questions today.
right?
You know,
Today it's
Yeah.
like you spend more on insurance than I pay myself in a salary. Like Jesus, but it's like it's wild to think about like how you have to constantly evolve as not only a human but like as a business person. So yeah, getting into real estate, like yeah, you're gonna do your first flip. You got to find 30 to 50 grand, or maybe find a partner. I tell people too, like honestly, the money is the easiest part when you don't worry about it. It's more the deal.
Partners are tough at first.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I don't know, you know, people do it a million different ways.
Yeah.
So I'm by no means like the barometer to listen to, but I would say that like I needed to figure out on my own. My personality's that way,
Yeah.
that it's like I need to do it on my own. I'm a stubborn, stupid bastard who's going to do it my way, and that's the only way I know how.
Yeah.
And then once I figure it out, then you know you can come along for the ride, and we can you
Yeah.
know make some money
Do
together.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
But like for me, I had to like start on my own.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think I would have made it the same way.
Yeah, everyone had to do it that way, and I think that's where like some of the as entrepreneurs say like you see like some of these startups or they're trying to skip steps, or you know they're just raising money to build this thing. Like no, like you got to hit every rung of that ladder and run up it. No one ever said you had to crawl up it, but like you got to hit every rung to get to a point where like now you can really build. Now you can do impactful projects and build impactful business. And in your case, you're building communities, which is even more rewarding.
I mean, it is fun to I think about it like, what do I want to do next? And it's like I love Philly. I want to do cool projects in the city that are like make Philly a cooler city. Like that's when you start to think about like, all right, now
Impactful
that like money's not the biggest concern anymore. All I think about was like making money for the last 20 years. That's all I care about. But like now it's like, all right, well, maybe we can do some cool stuff that are like, you know,
autonomous vehicles.
money doesn't have to be like the first thing you worry about.
Let's solve SEPTA problem. Why don't we do that?
I don't know what the SEPTA problem is. Like I hear two different sides of the story. I heard one side they're like fraudulent. On the other side, they're not making enough money and they need money from the state. It's like, dude, it's like, doesn't SEPTA go down if they can't make enough money and something replaces them? I don't get it. I don't know these things. I don't. And all my information is from Instagram. So what the fuck do I know?
Yeah, we have a theory that like we would love to see like autonomous vehicles in the city. Like we're gonna put up a proposal, be like, we actually think autonomous vehicles could work.
But that takes time. They're like doing that.
Yeah,
in
it
San
takes
Fran,
5,
right?
10 years.
Yeah.
Well, Georgia or Atlanta, they're doing it. San Fran, they're doing it. But it's crazy to think. But Philly actually has the most access to city and the surrounding areas than any other city in the U.S.
I don't know. To me, that's like twofold. On one hand, like I heard this theory that like they make cars look like shit and suck these days, so you don't want to drive them and you just get driven in them. But I like to drive.
Yeah,
I love I love driving. So it's like a great way to clear your head. It's a great
you
way
just
to
have
get somewhere fast.
You just have.
I mean, I love the idea of like getting rid of the DUIs in my life. I don't have any DUIs, but like the potential to get a DUI, I like
You
that.
call an
you
Uber
know?
and avoid
Yeah.
one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But so like, but also I like to drive, so I don't know that I want. I don't know. It's like by the time you have autonomous cars, you'll have cars flying. You know.
Yeah. Well, they are testing. I don't know if you've seen them. They are testing autonomous cars in Philly. The WAMCO, I think it is, WAMCO. They're out there. I've seen them on 76. They're driving autonomously right now. And they're testing them.
I think it's a funny business model and a cool model that like you buy a Tesla, and while you're chilling at home, your Tesla's out making money for you. That's pretty cool. You know?
Right? Like I think
that's a
reality.
great idea.
I think it's that's the way of the future.
Yeah. Well, definitely.
Yep. What is next for you? You want to do projects that are more impactful than just that improve the city. Like what do you have in mind? Like what do you like what tickles
I
your
don't have
fancy?
anything in mind yet. And I always I think about that a lot lately is like what's next? Like I'm not saying like I would ever like retire, but like I do want to do something else. You
Yeah.
know, like when I was telling you I was like sitting on that stoop and like
Yeah.
ready for the next chapter.
Yeah, it's like what
I was
is
like
it?
thinking about like maybe going back into film. Like I was thinking about taking some time away and like
What if
getting it. I have an idea for a short film that I want to do this.
I have an idea you could help me with immediately. What if
Alright.
we make a film about the haunted house lore downstairs?
I love it.
Which is
It's actually a
actually
good idea.
a legitimate lore story that Jared developed and I, and it's like we want to make it into a movie. Maybe this is a way you can, lick your chops on something that has weight and already has characters and
Perfect.
sets
I
built,
love it.
maybe there's a way that we can figure it out.
I fucking love it because I have an idea for like a short film that's like a not scary.
Yeah.
It's like a comedy that also involves like a little bit of like
Well, look, I will bring you back on episode 135, and we will discuss
Making this movie.
when we go out to Cannes Film Festival in France and show the Lincoln Mill trailer to the world. We'll come back and talk about that.
all right.
But
I like. Didn't you tell me you made a documentary about it?
it is there is a but there's a documentary on
Hold
the
on, let
haunted
me
house.
pause you for a sec. Do me a favor, fill up your glass.
I can do that.
So we're drinking. If I drink this whole bottle of whiskey, it's
Sarah, you don't have to
Look.
pause this. Right? Dan doesn't want any DUIs. He's taking an Uber home. So
Keep it in.
we're going out to eat after.
we're going out to eat. But the one thing I would say about the wait, what was the question again? It was the your question to me about the
You said you made a documentary.
yeah, documentary. So we have a documentary behind. It's all behind the scenes. It's like real, right? It's called the documentary is called Built to Scare. It's a whole documentary about how the business I'm involved with, the haunted house, right? I'm a partner, but I'm more behind the scenes. I'm permits, business,
Okay.
HR. I'm there at night because
I saw you working it the night that I
yeah,
came.
I mean, I'm passionate about it. I want people to enjoy it and have fun. You know me, I'm a people pleaser, right? I'm like, oh, you're having fun? Awesome. That makes me happy, right? So I'm there more as a
Your wife
moral
was
support.
selling gear outside.
Like, yeah, she was we're there. Was she gonna sit home and watch TV by herself? No, we're gonna be there together and do something. But like, she won't be this year. My 5-month-old at home.
Mhm.
But it's you do things that excite you. And to your point, like it's like, what's that next chapter, right? Like I run a very successful architecture firm here. I have 32 employees. We're constantly growing. We're moving offices. We're going to 50 employees. Like that's going to continue to grow. And that's my main thing. But it's like, there's always, what's that itch? What else could you do, right? You're going to keep doing apartments and condos and you're going to keep that going. That's never going to stop. It's like,
Am I?
you're going to be a film director on the side, right? You're going to start doing things that excite you. And that's for what it was for me. Like haunted house, like, yeah, who doesn't want to own a haunted house?
I think about that a lot
It's
lately.
like-
Is like, what's the next chapter? And
Yeah.
like I have enough work to deal with where I have time to decide. But I
Yeah.
do think like, oh, it's just gonna hit me when I don't know it when
Yeah.
it comes. Like that's the way. It
And you know what's crazy is like the haunted house thing. It was not a plan. It fell in my lap. It came to me because of a natural disaster that occurred on a building I had bought 4 months prior, 28,000 square feet, and a third of my building flooded, and I couldn't find a tenant for it. And literally, I had to make a business out of thin air to support the rent of
yeah, I
that.
remember
It's
when
crazy.
this place was Mad River. It was a good time back
Mad,
then.
yeah, it's a matter. It was a good time, right? But it's like you never know when something's
Mad
gonna
River
play
was a
the-
huge place too. Like
Yeah.
you had the bar up front down here,
Mhm.
right? And then when you walk to the back, it was like a wide open,
Wide
almost
open.
like a concert venue,
wide open
right?
concert venue.
And that's all the haunted house now.
The whole thing is a haunted house.
Dude, I've walked through that and I could never picture
The whole
like
thing's the
when
haunted
I was
house.
walking through like where the bar was.
Well, after this, I'll take you. We'll turn the lights on. I'll let you see it with the lights on.
Oh,
But yeah, it's but you never know. Like your next chapter is just gonna. I swear to God, it's gonna hit you. Right, my next chapter. It's not a chapter. It's an additional
I
book.
think about it all the
but-
time, but I'm also like, I don't need to force it. I have
Yeah,
time, so
Yeah, and finally, like I'm passionate about it because to me it also relates to the built environment. It's virtual, right? Like Jared, my operating partner, has built this whole 3D model of it,
yeah.
where it's still.
It's definitely very interesting.
within the
Like, I
realm
would never think in a million years.
I'm
I'm
a
a
vid-
run a haunted house.
I'm a video game nerd at heart. That's where I came from, right? So like this is it tickles my passion senses on that front, but also like yeah, my architecture firm is doing the permitting and like it's still interrelated to what I do.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's fun. And it's, what's crazy is I literally had a client today email and, we sent him an ASR for something for one of the civil engineers. We're doing a dispensary for him in Jersey. He sends me, he goes, yeah, I'll prove it, but I need some haunted house tickets, right? Like, it's funny, right? To just like, how like stuff crosses over. Cause I'm out there. I'm transparent with what I do. I'm not trying to hide that I own a haunted house, but like, it's just, I give people tickets. It's fun. It's different and it shakes things up and keeps it fresh. So
I can't believe how many people you put through that haunted house.
yeah, it's a lot. It's
Crazy.
tens of thousands for sure. But it's at this point it's we're going on season 4, so it's exciting. We're ready.
I remember.
You can interview me now. It's fun.
I mean, I went to the penitentiary one years ago, and it was really good. And that had the lure of like the penitentiary was
Well,
haunted.
that's gone now. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
problem is that's gone. When it was the penitentiary, and they did it like a prison, and it was like
It's cool because it was like
oh, it was wild.
there were like
Scary,
times you were walking through
Yeah.
and they didn't even need to do anything.
Yeah, no.
Because it was so freaky that you're walking through this dark hallway, you have no idea where you are,
Yep.
But I remember one time, I was a little drunk when we went to it. Obviously, we're hanging out beforehand, and like you wait for your time
Yeah.
slot, and like I was like, "Ain't no thing in here scaring me, dude." And people would jump at you and try to scare you, and it didn't work. And then they had this fucking midget come up from underneath me, and he just like jumped up, like it felt like he came through my legs and like hopped up at me, and I was like, "Fuck, you got me," you know?
Yeah. Like it's I love Eastern State. You know, they're great people over there. We've just taken the title of scariest haunted house in Philadelphia by far.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great when I came. We had a lot of fun, like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the idea of the Valentine one is a good idea too.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's a
there's
great thing.
off-season events. You know, it
Yeah.
keeps going year round, but it's
I mean, you could do it for just about everything, you know. Scary Christmas,
they did a Star Wars event this year.
scary Hanukkah.
Yeah. We did a Star Wars theme event this year. May the Fourth corrupt you.
Oh, really?
The only
Oh,
haunted
nice.
Star Wars anything in the world.
What
Happened
is
at,
it
like,
like? Is it like scary Star Wars people?
Yeah, they have lightsaber chainsaws. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool,
I
right?
like that. Like Ewoks with their eyes popping out their head.
Yeah, the makeup team had a fun time.
Jabba the Hutt for the final scene. I like that.
Yep. But so Dan, I'm just curious, like any last pieces of Dan
Biscuits.
with biscuits? Any last little crumbs of biscuits you could leave for the listeners of like anything? Like again, it could be like, you know, put your left shoe on instead of your right first because like it'll work out better. Like what for you is like something you live by or something that keeps you going? Like what is that?
I don't know.
Why are you doing it all?
I don't know. What do you mean? What?
Just you're having fun?
Yeah, what else am I supposed to do?
You go back to Chili's, yo, it'd be fun. Go back to Chili's and sell old time burgers.
You know
and
what's
skillet
funny about
queso.
Chili's is that I guess I was upset for a while because I would refuse to go back to Chili's for the first couple of years. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck that place. I'm never walking into a Chili's again. But I went to a Chili's recently. I forgot how fucking good. Like I used to mix the salsa with the ranch,
Oh yeah,
and like it's good, dude. Like I forgot how good it was.
skillet queso, old time burgers. my
Same
kryptonite.
thing with like so the first like 10, 12 years of me building, I did it all myself. I didn't hire anybody to work for me. I have this guy Dave working for me now. But I used to be at Home Depot weekends, like nights. Like, you know, they're open till 10. You leave the job at 7, you're there
I
closing.
think you went to pick up like the vanity.
First thing in the morning, you're there. Yeah, I know all kinds of techniques to get shit in your truck, you know.
Yeah.
And like I vowed that I can't right now. I can't walk into a Home Depot or a Lowe's. I haven't been in one in like 2.5, 3 years.
You got people for that. You're the ultimate film director.
But you just get so sick of doing the same shit all
Yeah.
the time. So no, I don't have any great advice.
Home Depot delivers now, so that makes it easier.
Yeah, I get that. But still, you still got to go in there and grab shit every once in a while.
There's got to be something. Like I'm gonna pull it out of you because like Dan, you've built a very successful business with minimal overhead. The projects you're doing are literally transforming the city.
Right, but like I do it in a certain way. Like I look at you and like I've never even been in a podcast studio before. like this is new to me. Like I'm looking around like what a whole new world there is out here. You were changing the colors.
Yeah,
of the
I have
lights and
I have
shit, you
over
know?
100 employees between all my businesses.
Yeah.
You have one,
Yeah, I don't know. Like
but your level of success is crazy. It's unbelievable.
yeah, but maybe that's because I keep it simple.
Keep it keep it stupid simple.
You got everything's complicated with you.
A little bit.
We're upstairs in a podcast studio. Downstairs, you're running a haunted house. A block away, you've got an architectural firm. You know.
See, and the reason I do is fun. I love what I do.
No, all that
I
part.
love what I do.
I actually miss that. I wish there was like a business I started where I go to every day. Like,
Yeah. Well,
you know what? I mean, not now. Obviously, I'm getting married, but back in the day, it was like you don't see women in your job.
Yeah.
You know, like you have an office, you have like a variety of people. Like
Mhm.
I just had a job site.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, you know what I realized, Dan, like for me, like you have your like you're having fun, you're doing, you know what it came down for me? I just like growing people. I'm great at building business, but like what excites me is when like one of my interns started with me as an intern and a decade later, he's a talented project architect. Right? Like
That's cool.
that
I get that.
fucking rewarding.
That's nice.
Right? Like that to me is like, all right, I bring someone in like and they're going through their testing to become an architect. It's like, oh, we gave them support here. We gave them guidance here. We showed them the way here. We're trying to get them, build them to a
But
project.
also, don't
manager
they
there.
just leave on you too then?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they leave.
Yeah.
But like in other facets, they don't.
That's cool.
Right? It's core values, and it's also like you can't align with that.
That's a nice part of it.
Yeah, it's like you have the core values, you try to maintain it, but like also sometimes people leave because they're in the wrong position.
Yeah.
And that's my fault, or maybe for putting them there, right? So again, it's never it's a
You
me
always
thing.
blame yourself. That's a good thing.
It's me. It's right. Like, why did that person leave? It's because I fucked up and I put them in the wrong spot, or I missed something that it was clear that I didn't see, or I let something go on for too long. It's my fault they left.
You
It's
always
not
have
their
to
fault.
take responsibility.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. Like
Yeah.
no matter what happens, it's a fuck up. It's like ultimately it's my fault for letting that happen though.
Yeah. How did it happen? Oh,
Yeah.
shit, I missed that, or I didn't.
That's the best way
They
to
asked
deal
for
with
that.
things too. It's
It was a
like
subtle ask, but like I didn't think anything of it, right?
yeah. It's a great way to deal with things. It's like at the end of the day, it's all my fault.
Well, when you realize that, and that's a good. I'm glad I got that out of you, and you can back that, because that's where true transformation happens, and that's where true growth and success happens, when you fuck everybody else. It's my fault.
Yeah.
It's my fault. It's not that person's fault. It's not the.
I definitely
consult-
blame
it's not
myself. I don't know how growth happens, but
Well,
I
that's-
definitely blame myself.
Well, that's
for
why
shit
you're
I-
growing, because you can accept it's you and you move on. You don't have to dwell on that person fucked up. It's never that person.
Yeah.
It's always you.
Yeah, I've always been like that though. I've always gotten that.
Well,
Even like
it
that
teaches
time
you
they
that-
fired me at Chili's. I knew it was my fault, not
It
that.
teaches you that in the restaurant industry, because
Yeah.
it's always your fault. It's never the cook's fault. Like, shit, I put that order in wrong. Oh shit, I didn't tip the busboy, so he did my table last. Like, it's always something
Yeah.
that's your fault. So I think the restaurant industry teaches you that much more rapidly than any career path could.
Well, the restaurant is chaos.
Yeah.
So if you can work and handle and learn how to handle chaos,
Yep.
then you can handle just about anything.
Anything.
And I think that's why it's an important job.
I almost think you should have to, like, they should mandate that you have to work in a restaurant for a year before you do anything else.
Yeah.
I think it would.
I mean, it was like, I mean, it taught me everything I knew, I guess. You know, like
Teach you
like I said, you deal with all kinds of people on the front side.
Mhm.
Then you're dealing with like cooks in the back. You're dealing with managers. Like there's so much politics.
I grew up in a restaurant.
You know.
My whole dad's side of the family was all restaurants, diners, and delis.
Oh,
So
really?
I worked. I waitered. I worked in a bakery. I hosted. I did bar back. I did bartending. I did line cook. I did catering out in fucking events, making wraps all day in the fucking 95-degree heat.
Yeah.
Like,
You know
I
what's
did it.
funny about working in a restaurant? In like for a while, it doesn't do it anymore. It's kind of faded now, but like anything you do, like it ruins it for you. You know, like when you know the behind the scenes of a restaurant, it's not fun to go to a
I
restaurant.
joke, my wife will laugh, but like I worked in a diner, the lettuce, right? Because you think about it, you're like, oh my god, diner, 1,000 people on a Saturday, like how do they make all that lettuce for all the salads? So I remember this guy like used to just like wash his arms, like in the sink, he'd be like
If you're
flipping the
lucky, it's
lettuce.
washing
I'm
the
like,
lettuce.
oh my. But it's the guy like that. He's cleaning the lettuce. Like, how else do you clean it?
It's hard to enjoy it when you see the behind the scenes. Just like even houses. It's like now I look at houses. Like I mean, there are some people that do some really cool stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But
Yeah.
like otherwise, I'm like, this is just plain shit. I understand how this works. This sucks. Yeah.
All right, well, Dan. Well, as we wrap up here, I just want to say thank you.
How long do we go? 48
We
minutes.
were 48
I
minutes.
feel like that ain't shit.
20s. That's pretty good.
I
That's
feel like we got through a lot of time there.
the listeners are going to be getting sick of you here shortly if we don't wrap up. I'm gonna tell you.
Not possible.
Is- possible.
Make sure I get that in the mic.
Dan is one of the most interesting people I know. It's always something. It's always a story. It's always a blast whenever I see Dan and hang out. But I just want to say, the amount of nuggets and just things you've told, your story is truly inspirational, whether you believe it or not.
I heard you say the same thing to the biscuit lady, dude. Come
No,
on, bro.
Tara is just as inspirational as you. I mean, you started from nothing and you built something truly amazing, and like it's inspiring. Like literally, you took a path that most people take. You went to college, you did this, and it's like you weren't happy, or you hit a dead end wall. It happens all the time to people. It's like, how do you reset? How do you grow from it and move on? And your story is that. You hit a wall and you reset and you found success in a different way. And now it's like, what can I do next? You found success. How can you do success again in a different way? And that's what life's all about. And I think the listeners got a ton of nuggets here. And if not anything, they learned you're about Chili's and more in behind the scenes of a restaurant in a haunted house. But I think
To mix the ranch with the salsa.
mix
at
the
Chili's.
ranch with the salsa. You didn't mention the old time burger. That's like my jam there. But
All the time with cheese.
Old time
OTC,
American
that's
cheese.
OTC is what they call it in the back.
With DC. Well, Dan, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for your time today. Thank you. The listeners will very much appreciate it. The 1,200 people that are roughly listening to this podcast on it.
1,200 people.
It's
I thought it was like 10.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste your time if it was only 10, Dan. The amount of impact you're about to make today and this
it was
episode
that.
sitting out there, people learning from you long term. it's interesting. And I think a lot of people might tinker around Washington Ave and see what's going on, see if any fun's still happening down there. But it's awesome. Your story's amazing, and thank you again.
Of course, man. This was fun.